Assalamualaikum guys. Hope you all are fine. Let's continue the previous topic. What is democracy? Why democracy? Okay, so let's start now. I am going to tell you about the pillars of democracy. The pillars of democracy: sovereignty of people, free and fair elections. One of the pillars of democracy is sovereignties of people. People must be sovereign. There should not be any interference regarding the privacy of people, regarding their private decisions and their private life. They must be independent. That means they must be sovereign. Free and fair elections. In a democratic country, the elections must be free and fair. Constitutional limits on government. There must be some limits on the power of government. The limits can be laid down by constitution only. So constitutional limits are necessary in a democratic country. We can call a country democratic only if the government is run according to the limits of the constitution, according to constitution. And there must be guarantee of basic rights. In a democratic country, there must be guarantee of basic rights and equality before law. All must be treated equally in a democratic country, irrespective of their caste, color, creed, and sex. Okay. Social, economic, and political pluralism. There must be social, economic, and political pluralism. Okay. Values of tolerance. There must be some values that each other should be tolerated. For example, there must be people who have belief in Islam. Some must have belief in Christianity, and some might be of other religions. They must tolerate the religion of each other. And cooperation and compromise. So people must cooperate with each other, and at the same time there should be cooperation between people and government, and compromise in some matters. Okay. So these are the pillars of democracy, like sovereignty of people, free and fair elections, majority rule, and there must be rule of majority. So in a democracy, those people form government who have majority. The political party who forms government must have votes in majority. And there must be consideration on the rights of minority as well. These all are the pillars of democracy. So now let's start democratic elections. Democratic elections are the benchmark of modern democracy. All modern democracies hold elections. All the countries in the world hold elections. All elections are not democratic, but all elections are not democratic, like Marxists, a single party government, etc. These are also held elections, but the elections held by these countries, they can't be told as democratic country. They can't be termed as democratic elections, because they are only showing the world that they are democratic countries, but the elections held there are not free and fair. Okay, so elections must be free and fair. There must be given choice to the voters, and all the things that are necessary in a democratic elections, that must be there. In such cases, we can call such a country democratic country. Okay, and the next one is party systems. There are multi-party systems, okay, bi-party system, and single party system. So far as multi-party system is concerned, a multi-party system, okay, in multi-party system there are choice for rulers. More democratic coalition government can be formed. This type of party system is found in India and France. Various political parties take part. Multi means many parties take place in such countries where a multi-party system exists. Okay, and the second one is bi-party system. Bi means two. Those countries wherein two political parties exist are called bi-party systems. Only two major countries clear major parties. There are two major parties. There is clear choice to voters, stable government, organized opposition, so like USA and UK. So there is best choice for voters, Okay, clear choice, and the government they have formed is stable government and organized opposition. And the next one is single party system. There is no choice for voters. This is not democratic way. इलेक्शंस ओनली शो, यहाँ पे जो इलेक्शंस होते हैं सिंगल पार्टी सिस्टम में वो सिर्फ शो के लिए होते हैं. ऐसी पार्टी सिस्टम होती है चाइना में, रशिया में और क्यूबा में. ओके. And the next is features of a democracy. Free and fair elections. In democracy, there must be free and fair elections. Active participation of citizens. Citizens must participate in decision making actively. And there must be protection of human rights. Human rights must be protected. There is rule of law. Rule of law. Okay, all are equal before law. This is the feature of democracy. Okay, and consensus and tolerance, this must be there. All these things can be termed as features of democracy. Okay, and now arguments against democracy. So this is criticism about democracy. In democracy, leaders keep changing, that led to instability. And democracy is all about political competition and powerfully. No scope for morality. In democracy, political parties are always in a mood and in an effort to gain more and more powers. Okay, so in this concern, they are not stressed. They do not stress on morality. They keep it away from themselves. So many people have to be consulted in democracy. So many people have to be consulted that led to delays. And elected leaders don't know best interest of the people. The leaders which are elected, they do not what people should be given. They do not know interest about the interest of the people. Okay, this led to bad decisions. And democracy led to corruption. Democracy led to corruption. Electoral competition during elections. Various political parties, okay, they share, they distribute money so to gain more and more votes. Okay, ordinary people do not know what's good for them. So in democracy there is right to vote all citizens whose age is above 21. Okay, so these people get right to vote, but they do not know how to cast their vote. They are not well aware about the leaders, their perceptions and democracy and whatever the rights there may be. So this is a problem. This is criticism of democracy. And the next one is arguments for democracy. Arguments in favor of democracy. Okay, democracy is better government. Democracy is better government as it's more accountable, because democracy is accountable. Okay, democracy provides quality of decision making. In democracy there is quality decision making, because all the political parties, they sit together, discuss issues and then form laws. Okay, then impose laws. Okay, provides method of deal with differences and conflicts. Democracy gives us a method to deal with differences and conflicts in a democracy. Okay, it enhances dignity of citizens. The dignity of citizens is enhanced in a democratic country. It allows to correct mistakes. Democracy allows all the people to correct their mistakes. Okay, and the last topic is that is broader meaning of democracy. Okay, the common form of democracy nowadays is representative democracy, or we can say indirect democracy. Okay, there is rule of majority and representatives are elected. Modern democracies have large population and it's impossible for them to sit together and take collective decisions. So there is indirect democracy in today's world, because population is huge and people do not have time and they do not have skills to run government. Okay, so there is impossible to have direct democracy. Only one country, Switzerland, that in their direct democracy exists nowadays. Okay, broader meaning is used for organizations other than government. So the broader meaning of democracy is used for organizations other than government. Okay, consent of all people who's affected by the decision, who are more powerful, have the same way. Okay, Broader meaning of democracy is that consent of all the people are consulted. Okay, whenever the decision is taking, okay, they must be consulted, because the decision whatever is taking can affect them. Okay, so this is broader meaning of democracy. Can apply to a family. This democratic way can be applied to a family. In a family, the head takes consent from all the family members, and then any decision is taking. There is also democracy. So this is also broader meaning of democracy. No country in the world is perfect democracy. Okay, it enables us judge an existing government and identify its weaknesses. The democracy gives us the choice to identify a good government, to judge a government. Whatever exist government is there, they must be screening. Such a government must be screening to know its work. If it performs well, then it's best democracy, and wherever it is not good, so it can show democracy show us the weaknesses of the government as well. Okay, and it helps us to understand distinction between minimal and good democracy. Okay, minimal and good democracy. Good democracy is that democracy in which people are happy, they enjoy their rights, and minimal democracy where some of the features exist little bit. Okay, such example is gram panchayat, gram sabha. In gram sabha there is directed democracy because the people sit together and take decisions. So thank you, have a nice day.